Hey guys, welcome back to Welding with Mr. Sapanic. Today's lesson we're going to be doing stick welding, also known as shielded metal arc welding, in the horizontal position on a V-groove. So this is a certification prep piece. This is going to be a 2G SMAW V-groove. Now notice how I have my pieces set up here. This piece we're welding horizontally, but our actual pieces are straight up and down, okay? It's not angled on a 45-degree angle, it's not angled on a 10-degree angle. This is straight up and down, that's how it needs to be. When you're welding in the horizontal position, all work needs to be completed in position, okay? Especially if you're taking a certification test. You cannot take this off, put it on the table, chip it, grind it, repair it, weld it, put it back up there to finish it, okay? When you put this piece of material up here, it has to stay here for the duration of the test. The only time you could take this down is when the CWI comes and says, okay, this is good enough for you to take down. You can go ahead and lay it out for your cut test, okay? So first thing we're gonna do is we're going to make our root pass in here. Now this root pass is just like your flat root pass. The only difference is our rod angle, okay? Now I like to pull towards me. Some people like to take away from them. You want to make sure that you have about a 5 or so degree rod angle pointing up. If you have your rod angle pointing down like this, what's going to happen is you're not going to get any tie-in to this top plate, and then you go to weld over top of it, and when you bend it, it's going to break on your root pass, okay? So the most important part, tying top piece, backing strip, and middle or lower piece all together at once, okay? Let's get our electrode holder here. Now this is to the AWS E1.1 code, so we are allowed to use power tools if we need to. I have a wire wheel set up here just to help out with a little bit of time, but you are allowed to use power tools, okay? Now me personally, I like to stick my rods when I'm doing anything out of position. I like to put my rods in here on the angle. Some people like to, put them up here and keep them straight. I prefer to have that angle there, okay? Put on the table here. There we go. All right, so first pass, we're gonna go from our runoff tab to our runoff tab. They're there for a reason, okay? Don't start in here inside your joint, you wanna start on the runoff tab. And remember, if you have to restart on your rods, try to stop right in the middle of your weld, not 3/4 of the way down, because that's where it's gonna be tested, okay? Here we go. Now I know this rod's not gonna make it all the way down, so it's best, how I can save that for another pass, but it's best to get rid of that. We're gonna go ahead and wire wheel this real quick. We're gonna fire up our new electrode here. Save that rod for later. Clean up our material here. All right, so we have our first pass here. Okay, now second pass, we're gonna go right here. All right. And when you do this second pass here, we want to take that rod angle. Instead of being about 5 degrees pushing up, we want to have a slight angle pushing down because we're tying into that bottom weld there, okay? This is where we're just reusing our old electrode here. When you're paying for these, every little bit of your rod counts. Same thing. Clean up our welds. Restart here. Now we're ready for our pass on top here. Now that we need to adjust our rod angle back, pointing up, that way we can tie in this weld to this piece here. Here we go. Okay, that was our second pass there. Notice how nice and smooth it is across. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get 2, maybe 3 passes, starting back at the bottom. Remember, you don't build a house from the roof down, so you gotta start at the bottom, work your way up towards the top here. our bottom pass. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw another one right over top of that. Now notice how I went a little bit faster with that, because I don't want to put too much in there, because I have to put the third pass up there on top. Sometimes you have to make judgments as to how fast or how slow you want to go inside of these joints. And we'll throw one more here. All right, so from here, after this video, I will just go through, I'll throw another set of passes, 3 passes on top of there, and then it will be ready for the cap. Okay? And then we would lay it out and cut it. That's all for today. See you next time.